Добро пожаловать на канал Китмок. И я начинаю делать прохождение по игре
Warframe.
Ну что же, приступим.
This specimen is a descendant of my original collection. How did...
Promise you won't yell at me.
You didn't incinerate them at all. You...
Dump them in the exocrine. We can rebuild. They're still out there, and doing quite well, it seems. I wanted to wound you, not maim. You're right to hate me.
No, I deny you my hatred. Find something else to feed on. Whatever you've become, I am still your sister.
You are more. I see that now. I name you Kaylee, Water Scourge.
I remember the claw you made for me.
With love. To protect you from the Void Horrors. But it was me you attacked.
It was you that was stifling the life out of me. Those stupid, insane rituals. Why?
I didn't know what else to do. I just didn't want to be useless.
You were never useless. Just lost. I name you Vilcor. The whip in its moment of striking.
Your work proceeds, my son. Clearly you thrive in isolation.
Outside your control, shackling me was never going to work.
Shackling? You contaminated the family, and yourself. You had to be protected from these mad urges.
You were worried about me? Thank you for the overdue recognition.
Your restrictions will be eased. Slightly. I name you Kermeros, the runner who outstrips his own shadow.
Do you remember when I first bred infested? How we played with them for hours.
What you did with those things was a deliberate insult.
I'm sorry you don't appreciate my sense of humor. But I did make you happy, didn't I? When you killed them.
Wait. Is that why you did it?
Vilcor, my sweet sire. What good is a weapons expert without something to kill?
No, I refuse to accept this. My shard.
Just one of thousands, dear. Nothing special.
Be kind. She knew once. Delos stole the memory.
It's not some mystical relic of grandfather.
It's just a bit of glass.
It's all I have left.
Is it?
No, Father. I release you. Let me live for the sake of the living.
I name you Gomaitru. The goblet refilled.
And to you, we thank you. You've helped us to realize that even though we've changed, even though we struggle to understand one another, we are still
A family.
yes, a family that would be honored to include you, Tenno. But what to name this little star that fell from the sky and brought us together?
Ayatan.
Perfect. Welcome, Ayatan.
Welcome.
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 Indeed. My behavior has been suboptimal, Tenno. I accept that. It has not been easy to swallow my pride and admit my mistakes. But without you, it might never have happened at all. If that concludes our business, I shall bid you farewell.
My father's spent years regretting what he didn't do, and my mother's spent just as long refusing to regret anything she ever did. I don't quite understand how you brought them back together, but I'm glad. And grateful. See you soon?
Goodness me, look at what you did for our little family. You found a poor, lost, broken thing fallen down the back of the system, and you picked it up and worked to make it better. And thus do we thumb our nose at master entropy, stitch by dogged stitch, every day. That's how the work gets done. Now, shall we sit and talk a while? Always nice to see you. Do stop by again.
Tenno, working with you, it's meant a lot to me. Just having someone who respects my experience, someone I can be a guiding hand to. It's, well, you get what I'm trying to say. All this time I've been blaming her for what's happened, but now, maybe, just maybe this was meant to be. I think I might owe her an apology. Be seeing you again, I'm sure.
So, the stranger at the family feast turned out to be the one who guided us to find one another again. There will be scars, ugly ones, but healing too. Thank you, friend. Bye for now, you shiny thing.
You're the best miner on Deimos! Possibly in the whole system! Will you be my friend? Together, we will build the future!
It's Navarus! You do know what that is, right? The ancient Orcan festival of death, darkness, and deviance? The happiest time of the entire year! I've dug out all the old family decorations. Take a look. One of them even tells a story. Navarus is all about raising the ghosts of the past. For the immortal Orcan, that meant everything we thought we'd left behind. Mortality, mystery, fear of the dark. See you soon?
Would you like to hear a story for Nabarus? One that I told my grandchildren when they were small. Very well. Long ago, in the Orcan days, a golden people lived in spoiled luxury. If a body wore out, why? They would take a new one as easily as plucking a maprico. Such was the mystery of the Kuva. So, what became of death and disease? Oh, they were abundant, but not for the Orokin. They were above petty death. Such was their contempt that they decreed a special day on which to make fun of it. On Navarus, the night of memory, the Shining People laughed at death. They dressed in costumes that recalled the old days of mortality. Skulls grinned, hallways guttered with demon lights. For one night, beauty was banished. Rot and monstrosity held sway. Now, on one very special Navarus, 3 pretty Orokin were bored, as Orokin so often were. Navarus no longer holds its magic for me, sighed one. Masks and costumes are for children, grumbled another. Why follow the crowd, mused the third. Are we not the very elite of the elite? Ha ha! Up, my Kissingtons, my luscious loves. Send for blue Kuva and hot lights. I have a sport that will mend all. And in the corridor, behind a curtain, a solitary silent girl heard them and said nothing. Then the 3 were very wicked. For what do you think they did? Down into the streets they went, and they caught 3 poor Austrians and bore them back to their gilded halls. One they peeled like a fruit and decked out with glassy splinters, and his naked jaws went chitter-chatter-snap. And it echoed all around. Scarlet footprints he left. Another's limbs they twisted and wrenched his neck, and made a bundle of him until he scuttled upsy-downsy like a horrid crab, with his sockets all empty and his stretched-out nose snuffling. The third they pulled thin in hand and foot. She walked spindly-wise on long tiptoes like a spider, and her entrails hung delicately down. She whispered, split-tongued and hissing as she went. Fine costumes we've made, chortled the 3 Orokin. Let us now try them on and visit our friends. What shrieking there will be! Oh, our names will live forever in the court for such a prank as this. Now, the silent girl brought them their blue Kuva, so they could take on these twisted bodies for only a short time before returning to their own. They drank and slept and woke in their 3 horrid forms. Off they went down the stairs, out the door, into the city, into the night of banners and masks and wild hilarity. Chitter-chatter-snap, scuttle-buttle, whispery-hispery. As you can imagine, there were many screams and laughs. Such cleverness, such wit. But in a high room of the tower, the silent girl looked at the faces of the 3 sleeping Orokin. She went and opened a little ivory door that she was not supposed to know about, and drew forth a flask that she would have been glassed for even looking at. A flask of crimson Kuva, the scarlet seal upon continuity. permanent. And she tipped it down 3 cruel throats. With a little laugh, she went skating away, never to return. There were many screams that nabberous night, but when the sun came up, none screamed so loud as the 3 who found that they were trapped in the hideous bodies they themselves had fashioned forever and ever. So, listen carefully, Tenno, and beware, for you may hear them coming tonight. Whispery-hispery on long stalking bones, scuttle-buttle with his eyes all empty, and skinless, dripping-handed, chitter-chatter-snap. Happy nabberers!
На этом все. Желаю всего наилучшего и увидимся.